so find that neutral alignment with your pelvis and spine. Allow your tailbone to sit under and level your hips out in front. Think about your ribs being centered over your pelvis. Lift up through the crown of the head. So elongate the spine. Find the natural curve that runs through the back, your neutral spine. Allow your shoulders to slide down your back. Create a soft V, a mild engagement with the shoulders. All right, and let's think about engaging our core. Now to do that, we can engage the belt muscle by drawing the navel in towards the spine. So I want you to imagine your tightening notches on a belt. The navel draws in, and we just got a nice mild, soft feeling here as we connect and engage. Take the hands on the base of the ribs. Let's just start with a couple of breaths. Take a breath in through the nose, and a breath out through the mouth. Breath in through the nose, and a breath out through the mouth. So it's a very subtle movement. You're aiming to stretch your rib cage out to the side. As you breathe out, allow the rib cage to drop again. So when you take that breath in, allow the ribs to stretch. The reason why we use lateral thoracic breath in Pilates is so that we can keep an active center. So I just want you to do that a couple more times. And as you're focusing on your breath, I'm just going to recap on what I said at the start, as I understand that you couldn't hear me. I just want you to be mindful that you're in your room today. I can't see you. It's a live stream of class. So please monitor your bodies, monitor your movements. And if you struggle, remember to bring it back. I will offer lots of different levels to accommodate everybody today. I am assuming you have no medical conditions and that you're feeling well, ready to take part. All right, let's start with some circling the shoulders round. So I want you to mobilize your shoulders, create space. Think about the symmetry in your body. Lovely, let's make that movement a little bit bigger and take it into the elbows. And then even bigger still with both arms circling round. So imagine you've got a marker pen in each hand and you're drawing the same size circles. Lovely. Take both hands in front of you. Now draw your right elbow back and look over your shoulder. Come back to center, take a breath in, and then with the breath out, draw the left elbow back and look over the shoulder. So we breathe in and then breathe out to turn. Breathe in to center, breathe out and turn. So if I just turn sideways on so you can see, we're drawing back, looking over the shoulder. All the time we have an active center. So an active center means we've got our center engaged. Lovely, one more time here. And relax the arms down. Good, lift the right arm up for me. Now gently stretch to the side. Good, come back, allow the arm to float down. Stay with the right arm, take a stretch, and then reach over again. So find that space in the side of your body. Please be mindful of your bodies. Decide where you can take it without forcing the movement. So all the time you're communicating with your body, decide where it can go. Lovely, I want you to hold this one over. Now allow the other arm to drop down. Just allow gravity to draw you down. Take your hand behind the base of the skull and now look towards the ceiling, past that right elbow. And feel that nice stretch all the way through the front and side of your body. Good, let's release off. Take the other arm up. And now gently stretch the side. Remember to keep your core engaged. Breath out, breath in, return. Breath out, breath in and down. Lovely, so just create a nice flow of movement. Think of no beginning and no end. And this time we're going to gently hold over. If you can take your hand away from your thigh, allow gravity to pull you down. Feel that stretch on the opposite side. Hand at the base of the skull and now look towards the ceiling. So you're pushing that left elbow back and feeling that stretch all the way through your chest and your shoulder. Good, well done. Let's make it a little bit more dynamic. So breath in, stretch. Breath out and sweep. Breath in and stretch. Breath out and sweep. So we're just gently bouncing down into our heels. Again, we've got an active centre, so we're drawing the navel into the spine. So even though it's a mobility movement, we're in control of that movement. Lovely. As you come up, create a big V shape. Sweep down, open out and create a big V shape. So be mindful now of finding that space in the front of your body. Often the front of the body is where we're closed and we're tight. Lovely, let's keep it dynamic, but take the feet apart and now gentle rotations from side to side. So wrap your arms around your waist. Allow your foot to come with the movement. And remember to keep lengthening through the crown of the head. Breathe in for 2 rotations. And breathe out for 2. Breathe in for 2. And breathe out for 2. Lovely. Try wrapping your arms in the centre twice here. And now throw your arms up into the air. Wrap your arms in the centre and then throw them up. So start to stretch through the opposite hip. Breath in. Breath out. Breath in and breath out. Lovely. One more time. And then we're going to bring our feet into the parallel setup, so underneath your hip sockets. With your pelvis and spine neutral, your centre engaged, let's focus on some balance work. So lifting slowly up onto the balls of the feet, and then back down onto the heels. Now, if you struggle with your balance, you can modify this movement, and rather than weight bearing through the feet, you can just lift the heel and place back down. You can lift coming onto the ball of the foot and place down. So decide where you can take your bodies today, what can you manage, what feels comfortable, and where are you in control. Good, progression, lifting the arms. So breath into left. Breath out and down. Breath into left. And out and down. Lovely. Try and keep the ankles nice and stable to try to prevent the ankles from rolling outwards. And then release. Good. Let's just gently squat down and back up again. So a little demi squat. Be mindful of the alignment through your ankle, your knee and your hips, and then also of your posture. So as you squat down, try not to lose that posture. Okay, the chest is open, the spine is long. Good, let's challenge our balance a bit further if we can. We're going to lift onto our toes. Imagine an eggshell underneath the heel, and now see if you can do that little demi squat. If you really struggle with your balance, come back to the previous level, keeping your heels flat on the floor. So we lift our heels, we gently squat down, not too far, and then we place our heels down. Lovely, let's try 2 more. So we're really bringing the mind and the body together, and we're bringing our focus into class. So we're preparing ourselves both mentally and physically. Lovely, a little bit more balance work standing before we transfer onto our mats. Level your hips, align the pelvis and spine, and now see if you can lift with your right knee. Lift with your left knee. Try not to transfer the weight. So I want you to imagine that your ribs here are a church bell. Okay, you don't want to ring that bell, so try not to tilt yourself off to the side. You want to find your body centered and balanced. So we're just working through all the principles in Pilates that we're going to work through with the rest of our movements. Lovely, one more time. And then feet back into parallel. Let's come onto the back of our mats and let's do some roll downs. So with your feet underneath your hip sockets, your pelvis and spine neutral, take a breath in. With the breath out, the chin comes to the chest, the spine unfolds. Vertebrae by vertebrae come down towards the floor. Breath in at the bottom, breath out, slowly roll back up again. Allow your shoulders to slide down your back and lift through the crown of the head. See how tall you can make yourself, ready to go again. Chin to chest, the spine unfolds. Vertebrae by vertebrae, we come down to the floor. We take a breath in at the bottom. Breath out, we slowly roll up, drawing our navel in, drawing our shoulders down our back, and then we lift through the crown of the head. So I want you to see if you can grow taller and taller each time you do this. If you're tight in your legs, soften your knees. Don't come down as far. There's always ways that we can modify the movement. So it's about listening to your body, and if you feel yourself struggling, then modify. So if you're tight in the legs, soften the knees. If you can't come down too far, just to that point where you've got control. Lovely. Let's make the next one our last one, and we're going to transition onto our mats. So I want you to come down onto your hands and knees. We're going to pad our hands forward, take our hands under our shoulders and our knees underneath our hips. Good. Slide your shoulders down your back. Draw the navel away from the mat and engage the belt muscle again. Now, very gently, tilt under with your pelvis. Take the pelvis away, lengthen through the crown of the head, and do the same again. Just try and move the pelvis only, the lower back. Okay, try not to pull all the way into your shoulders. So keep your shoulders connected. Good, now take that a little bit further, draw all the way up, drop the head down and through the legs, and then back into neutral. But I really want you to focus on lengthening your ribs forward and the crown of the head to the front of the room. Tilt under with the pelvis, pull up, and then lengthen the rib cage forward, slide the shoulders down the back. Lovely, we're going to come through that position one more time, and then you're going to find your neutral curve. Good, just recheck that you've got your centre engaged, and now slide the right leg behind you. If you can, take the toes off the floor, but you can keep your toes attached if you find it hard to balance and keep your body centred. So breath in, breath out and lengthen away. Now if anybody has any difficulty being on the knees, you can do this exercise, which is swimming, down on your tummies. So you can lie down, rest your head into your hands, and you can lengthen your feet away on your tummy. For those that want progression, reach the opposite arm forwards. So breath in, breath out, and reach. Breath in, breath out, and reach. So you want absolute abdominal control. Keep yourself centered and balanced, and if you find yourself wobbling, just come back to the previous level. Or even just take your arms away. You don't have to do the arms and the legs. Lovely, let's try that twice more on each side. So we're always focusing on an even balance in the body. So we need to do the same on each side. And once you're done, sit back onto your heels into child's pose. So a nice long spine. Alright, let's come down into our tummies. Now, if you've got a towel or a sofa cushion, you can use this to help. I'm going to place it just under my forehead to help encourage my neutral setup of my head, neck and spine. So when I lie down, my feet are in parallel behind me. Relax my hips. I'm going to take my arms open to the side with my shoulders sliding down my back. And now my head can just gently rest on my towel. Now let's try engaging the pelvic floor this time. It's important we learn to activate both pelvic floor and the belt muscle. Pelvic floor, I want you to think about drawing 4 bony points together. Pubic bone, tailbone, and your 2 sit bones. From those points, it's a mild engagement upwards. Now, gently press against the hands. Lift to the bottom rib, and then slowly lower back down towards the floor. So this is the foundation level I talked about at the start. I'll always start off with that beginner level, and then I shall progress the movement. So for those that feel they can, continue that journey, extending up through the spine. So breath in, if you can, if your back says yes, it's okay, it's comfortable to do so. Lift all the way up. So we open out the front of the body, we engage the muscles in the back of the body. Now, as you come down, see if you can float your feet away. So take a breath in, lift, and as you breathe out, float the feet. So you start to get a gentle rocking action, top end and tail end. Try not to bring the head up and forward. Okay, we want to avoid compressing the vertebrae through the neck, so the back of the neck is always long. Now for those that have worked with me before and want to make this more dynamic, okay, if you're further along your Pilates journey and you have that experience, you can reach forward with the hands as the feet extend, but only take it here if you've got that experience to do so. Good, one more time, and then we're going to turn ourselves onto our side. So if you turn to face your device, you're going to make your body nice and long, and you can now use your towel just again to support the head and help encourage that neutral setup. If you do struggle with your shoulder, then hand in front and then take that towel or cushion underneath the head. So a nice long line. Let's rest the hand on the top thigh. Let's come back to a belt muscle activation. Let's start by lifting the top leg, then the bottom, and then both feet down. So top leg first, and then the bottom, and both feet down. Now if you find yourself wobbling here and struggling to control, then place a little fingertip down on the mat in front of you. But try to be mindful of not using the global muscles, so only very light. Good, let's try both feet together. So both feet left and both feet lower. Both feet left and both feet lower. When you're lifting your feet, just hip height is fine. You want to be mindful of your waistline underneath. Don't force the waistline into the floor. Good, let's hold our feet up. And now let's flex and point. Toes in and toes away. Toes in and toes away. Lovely. Keep the feet flexed and then rotate back together. Pilates V and back together. Good. Rest your bottom leg down. Bring your top leg forwards and backwards. So you take it into side kick. Now make sure you've got that control through your rib cage, your spine and your pelvis. If you feel your top shoulder moving, that's a sign that you're losing that control. So try a smaller range of movement, or maybe pop a little fingertip on the floor in front of you. Breath out and breath in. Good, let's try a variation of that side kick, and now point the toe and draw a circle with that top leg. Now you can either keep your bottom leg resting, or to challenge further, if you lift the bottom leg and then continue those circles. Lovely, well done. Let's try 2 more circles. And then we're going to rest the feet down. Good. Let's pop ourselves up onto our side. We're going to take it into side bend. Now, when you do side bend, you've got 4 different levels. I'm going to start at foundation level, but for anyone that knows to start here on the hands and feet, by all means, you can. Let's aim for 10. So I want you to take your shoulder down, engage your belt muscle, and then when you're ready, lift your hips up and out of the mat. So take a breath in and a breath out to lift, and find that nice long line on the top of the body. So level 1, we start on the elbow and the knees. Level 2, we come up onto our hands, but we're still on the knees. So a bit of a longer journey for the hips. Level 3 is where we start to think about lifting the body off the floor. So we stack our feet to get good stability, and then we lift the whole of the body. And for those more experienced at level 4 here, push, and then into that full side bend position. Lovely, let's try a couple more. If you struggle, please rest beforehand. And once you're done, we're going to take it into a mermaid stretch. So we keep the legs to the side they were, and now we gently flow that movement from side to side. If you struggle with your hips or your knees, please pop your legs in front of you, and then continue here as you just gently move from side to side. Good, let's come over and stretch. Hold that position. Create a nice C curve through your body. And release, good, well done. All right, let's take the feet out in front of us. The hands are going to come behind, either fingers facing towards your toes, or turn your hands out. Take your shoulders down away from your ears, engage your belt muscle, and then see if you can lift your hips off of the mat. Now this is a really tricky one, it's a hard one, it's called the supine leg pull. If you struggle to weight bear through your arms, the alternative is just to bend the knees and stretch, open out the chest. Alright, so I'll let you decide whether you're coming all the way up, or if you find that too hard, then just a stretch. Be mindful of your head, don't allow it to drop back, okay? You want to keep a distance, roughly a fist distance between your chin and your chest, all the way through the movement. Again, for anybody more experienced here, as you lift, you can try taking the foot off the floor. However, if your bottom drops down when you do this, it means you're not ready for that level. Good, let's try a couple more. So we're opening out the front of the body, we're engaging the muscles in the back. It's very important we get that balance in Pilates between front and back and right and left. Good, well done. Just release off the wrists. Okay, let's take a seat to face the front. Now we're going to do the spine stretch. If you need a bit more support and height, you can place a towel under your bottom. Let me turn sideways again, so let me demonstrate. If you're pitched back when you're sitting, that's when you know you need a bit of height underneath your bottom. Okay, to take the pressure away from the front of the hips. We're going to open our legs out to the side, and we're going to imagine a big ball in front of us. Let's slide our shoulders down, and let's think about engaging the pelvic floor again. So in fact, if you just gently rock from side to side and feel those sit bones underneath the squashy bits, okay, the hard bits under the squashy bits, your sit bones, think about drawing them together, then pull from the front and the back, mild engagement upwards. Now very gently wrap yourself over the ball. Breath in and a breath out. Breath in and a breath out. Now if you're really tight in your legs, you can soften your knees, alright? You can have your hands crossed in your chest. Breath in and breath out. So again, it's just being mindful of where you can take your body. So a nice big continual movement, we apply the flow principle, no beginning and no end. So we mobilise the spine, and if we're tight in the legs, we'll also feel that benefit of stretching the legs. Lovely, finish the one you're on, and let's lie down on our other side. So, let's come all the way down, stretch the arm, pop the towel in between the head and the arms, so you're stretching from your fingertips down to your toes. Rest your hand on your thigh, engage your belt muscle. Lift your top leg, allow the bottom leg to join, and then take both feet down. So lift, bottom leg to join, and both feet down. So remember not to lift the feet too high. Be mindful of your waistline underneath. You don't want to push the waistline into the floor. You want to try and keep that natural curve that runs through it. Both legs up, and both legs down. Both legs lift, and both legs lower. If you are struggling for balance, little fingertip down in front, but be mindful not to rely on that hand too heavily. It's the core muscles that we want to stabilise the movement. Good, let's keep the feet lifted. Let's flex and point. Toes in and toes away. Good, so really actively stretch, draw those toes in as much as you can, push them away as much as you can. Good, keep them flexed. Pilates V, toes together. Pilates V, toes together. Lovely, rest your bottom leg down and now bring that top leg forwards and backwards for side kick. So remember, we're trying to keep everything still, shoulder down the back, ribs attached to the abdomen, spine and pelvis still. If you need to, a little fingertip in front if you're really struggling with your balance. As you take that leg forwards and backwards. Good, we're aiming for 10. We can rest at any point we need to. Lovely, let's try variation and let's see if we can point the toe and draw circles. So variation of your side kick. To challenge that even further, float your bottom leg. If you find yourself too challenged, place that foot back down on the floor. Lovely, one more time. And then rest the legs and push yourself up for side bend. Alright, so we're going to prop ourselves onto our elbow. Remember, this is level 1 for those that are more experienced and know at different levels. For example, level 4, by all means come to that straight away. So let's set the shoulder girdle, let's engage the belt muscle and then lift the hips up and out of the mat. So breath out to lift, breath in and down. So remember, level 2 is where we come up onto the arm. So we've got a bit of a longer journey for the hips to travel. Level 3 is where we're back onto the elbow, we start to lift the whole of the body. So here and down. And level 4 is up on the hands and the feet. Again, only bring it to here if you do this normally in class and you know you've got the control to do so. You're better to make sure you've got a good quality of movement. Don't compromise it by trying that next level and losing control. Lovely, one more time and then we'll take it into our mermaid stretch. So nice and gently from side to side. If you have any problems with your hips or knees, take your feet out in front of you. Good, as you're gently stretching, I'm going to come and check my little timer. We're doing very well. We have literally hit our 30 minutes, but we're going to carry on, do one more exercise before we do a little relaxation, because I understand we started a little bit late today, okay, with the technical issues, but we should hopefully get better at that. So, once you've finished your mermaid stretch, you're going to just turn sideways on your mat. Now, we're going to do the roll up. For those that can do this exercise without any tools at all, you can lie on your mat to start. If in class you normally use a band under your feet or a ball behind your back, go and grab a sofa cushion or a towel. You can start here with a small range of movement. Alright, so just engaging the core, small range of movement, rocking backwards and forwards. And as you get stronger and stronger, you can come down further and further. As we progress, the legs straighten and we can add our forward bend. We sit nice and tall and then we roll vertebrae by vertebrae, taking the hands over the head, breath in. With the breath out, we roll and peel the spine. We sit, breath in, and with the breath out, we forward bend again. So again, it's about listening to your body. If you find yourself forcing this one, then you know you're not ready to come all the way down. So especially this part here, you just want to gently roll through your spine. Lovely, we're aiming for 10. And once we've done the last one, we shall stay on our mats. We'll stay lying down. Good. Let's do one more each, and then let's stay down on our mats. So if you're using that towel, you'll need to remove it from behind your back. Make sure you've got room for your head. If you have shuffled backwards, shuffle down your mat. And then let's find our neutral setup on our backs. So want your feet in parallel. Think about how we set them at the start. Pelvis and spine neutral. Your knees are hip socket distance apart. The spine is long with your arms down and your shoulders away from your ears. Engage your belt muscle for me. And now lift your head and shoulders to come into an imprinted spine. So feel the base of your spine pushing down. Take your head back down onto the floor into neutral. Good. With the breath out, lift into imprint. With the breath in, come back into neutral. Just do that a couple more times for me, remembering that we can work in both positions in Pilates. However, if when you're in imprint you feel strain in your neck, that's your permission to have your head down and work in neutral. Lovely, I want you to hold the next one, and we're going to finish off with the single leg stretch. So we're going to try an imprinted spine, float the right leg into tabletop, and then take that leg out and back in. This is more of your foundation level here, okay, with one foot connected to the floor. For those that have done this before, both feet float into tabletop, right knee to your chest, breath in, breath out and change. Breathe in right, breathe out, change. Breathe in 3, breathe out, change. Breathe in 4, breathe out, change. Breathe in 5, breathe out, change. Breathe in 6, breathe out, change. Breathe in 7, breathe out, change. Breathe in 8, breathe out, change. Breathe in 9, breathe out, change, last one. And then breathe out, change. Good, draw your knees in, let your head roll from side to side. So remember, if you're newer to Pilates, when you do this exercise, you keep one foot down, and it's just one leg heading out and in. The head can also stay down if you're feeling that the head is heavy. Let's set up neutral again. We're going to lead with the left leg this time. So nice long spine, shoulders down, engage your belt muscle. Float the head and shoulders. Once you're in imprint, float your left leg. Either work from here, or float the right leg too. Left knee into the chest, breath in, breath out and change. Breathe in left, breathe out, change. Breathe in 3, breathe out, change. Breathe in 4, breathe out, change. Breathe in 5, breathe out, change. Breathe in 6, breathe out, change. Breathe in 7, breathe out, change. Breathe in 8, breathe out, change. Last one. Sorry, breathe out, change now, the last one. And draw the knees in. Good, knees in, head side to side, release the tension. Good. Let's just circle the knees round and let's start to stretch out and relax. And then gently circle the other way. So let's mobilize the hip sockets. Nice easy breath now as we're stretching. Good. Take your feet down onto the floor and lengthen your hands and your feet away from the body. So nice and long now, stretch from the fingertips all the way down to the toes. Lift up with the rib cage, stretch all the way through the stomach. Give yourself a few moments to feel the benefits of what we've done today, feeling more space in your body, more length, strength, stability and balance. Good, bend your knees, open your hands wide with your feet and knees together, gentle rotations side to side. So nice easy breath. And then take your knees to your right and look to your left hand. If you're wanting to assist the stretch, the hand comes on the outside of the thigh and we draw the knees to the floor. Good. Slowly allow those knees to come through center and change. And then look over to the opposite hand. So again, if you're wanting to assist, the hand comes on the outside of the thigh and we just gently draw the knee to the floor. Alright, either roll onto your side to come up, or if you can curl up through your centre, hug a knee transition, pushing the feet away and taking a seat. Sit with your legs crossed or your legs open. Let's take one hand either side, nose towards the knee, and then just feel that stretch on the opposite side of your back and into your glutes. Good, come through centre to the other side. Come back to centre, take both hands in front of you, round your shoulders, release your upper back. And then open out. Open the chest, squeeze the elbows together. Good, rest the hands down, let's take the chin to the chest, head to the right, and then just either holding here or very gently pulling away. Chest slowly, either holding here or just very gently pulling away. Lovely. Let's come nice and slowly. So when you're ready, you're going to curl up through your spine. So vertebrae by vertebrae, we're going to come back to the position that we started in. So feet underneath your hip sockets. Pelvis and spine neutral, ribs centered, shoulders down, lift through the crown of the head. Engage the core one last time, take a breath in and a breath out. Good, one more time, big deep breath, bring your hands together. Very well done. I hope I'll see you again next week. Apologies again for the technical issues at the start. Hopefully the practice we shall get there. And I wish I could see you all, but I'm glad that we're doing some form of exercise in our rooms and in our homes. So bye-bye everyone, and I'll see you again soon. All right.